I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Can anyone confirm?
Yes, Tanveer, it's visible.
Okay. So anyone has any question from the previous session? Okay, fine. So today we plan to cover run level and the file system in Linux. So first we'll cover the run level, then we will see how the files are stored in Linux, and then how to create files and folder in Linux. For these all three, I have already shared the notepads. So let us start first with the run level. What exactly is a run level? So basically run level defines in which mode our Linux server will run. Okay? Whether it will run in a single user mode, it will run in multi-user mode, or it will run in a graphical environment. So run level defines in which mode our server is going to run or work. There are total 7 run levels. Okay. If we set run level 0, means our system will shut down after boot when it is going to load this configuration file. Single user mode means it will not give us any prompt to log in. It will open in a command prompt mode. Uh, Complete CLI without any user login prompt we will have, without any network services also. Run level 2 means multi-user mode without NFS, means there will be option to log in. We will have multiple terminals also, but without NFS means no networking service will be there. NFS stands for Network File System. It is a service used for file sharing between Linux to Linux. Okay. So multi-user mode it will be, but without any of the network services. Multi-user with NFS. So these both will be complete command line. The difference in this, we will have only multi-user mode in command line, but no networking. So multiple terminal will be here. Here we will not have any terminal, no login prompt. Only one uh, console will be there, where it will be by default logged in with the root, and no services will run here. This one we will have multiple user mode, means we will have the option to log in with any of the user. Multiple terminals will be there, and all the networking features. So generally our Linux servers are set on run level 3. Why? Because there will be option to log in on multiple terminals. All the network services will work here except graphical. Run level 4 is not used, and 5 is graphical. Graphical means the one which we have installed in the last session. Okay. So graphical means it will have the graphical desktop plus all the command line terminals, along with that all the services, network services. So that is run level 5. Why then we use this run level 3? The reason is when the OS is used in complete command line, it utilizes less hardware resource, means less CPU, less memory for anything processing, and the things get processed faster in compared to the graphical mode. Then we have the run level 6. which is reboot. So when our Linux is going to boot, on that time, there is a one file called init files. So init scripts are going to run. So whatever run level is set by default. So based on your installation, if you have installed in graphical, it will be by default 5. If you have installed in complete command line, then it will be 3. Apart from that, we can change it as per our requirement. So now we are going to see what exactly is the run level of this machine which we have installed. Run level, you see, the run level is 5. Now you want to change it. First you log in with the root, then you can change the run level. To change init 3. You see. Now we have complete command line only. You see, we can log in on different terminals here. We'll have the network services. TTY. You see, we are on terminal 1. Init 1, single user mode. So in init 1, it will show you the sh prompt. Okay. So here, why it's not appearing? Because of the virtual environment. Okay. Let me log in with root. So let me restart it. So you also try, as it is a virtual environment, only for run level 3 and 5. Okay. Or maximum you can try 2. I hope this run level is clear. Once you change the run level, you can use the command run level to test. So this is also a very common interview question, that what exactly is the run level, which command we use to check the run level, and do you know the different run levels. Now moving to the next, file system in
Tell me,
Linux.
what is about reboot and what is the NFA and the run levels?
Just a minute. Yeah, tell me.
So in that one, there is a second and third run levels there na? Multi-user mode without NFS. What is NFS means?
NFS means network file system. It is a file sharing service in Linux. Without NFS, in simple word, if you say, without networking features.
Okay.
Okay. And reboot means if it is set to init 6 in the script file, then your Linux will boot, but half again it will reboot.
Okay.
So for troubleshooting, we can check this. Now here, the next is file system in Linux. So yesterday we have covered till lecture number 3. Now we are moving to lecture number 4. Here you see file hierarchical concept, how files and folders are stored in Linux. Okay. So in Linux, we don't have C drive, D drive type of things. When you connect pen drive also, it will not take any drive letters. So in Linux, file and directories are organized into a single rooted inverted tree structure. Okay. So what does it mean? Let me simplify it. So this is suppose your hard disk. In this hard disk, by default, there will be, sorry, 3 partitions. Okay. So which one is the first? First is boot partition, and it is of how much size? It is of generally 1 GB nowadays. It's not required that much size, but generally it will be. Second partition, which is here, that is your swap partition. Swap partition, and it is of 2 GB. This is root partition, which is referred as forward slash, and all the remaining. Generally, it is recommended like 4 5 GB is enough. But here we have taken 20 GB of the partition while creating, so 17 GB remaining is our root partition. So as we have C drive in Windows, similarly here we have the root partition, which contains all operating system plus user files. Boot partition contains all the bootable files plus kernel image. Okay. Swap partition is the space of hard disk used as RAM. That is swap partition. Similar to this, we have in our Windows also. If you type sysdm.cpl in the system properties, you can see here we will have in the advanced performance. Here you go to the advanced, you see virtual memory. In Windows, the same thing is referred as a virtual memory. So virtual memory, you see a paging file is an area on hard disk that Windows uses as if it were RAM. Okay. So in Windows, same thing is referred as a virtual memory. Here it is referred as a swap partition. So I hope till here things are clear. Now whatever files and folder we are creating, that goes in the root partition. Suppose if you have available space and you are going to create one more partition, then how you will store data and access the data from this partition? For that, first you have to create one folder, and then you have to link this folder with this partition, and this linking process is called mounting. Means mounting the drive or partitions with any folder, that is called mounting. Similarly, suppose if you have CD drive and you want to access this CD drive, so you'll plug in the CD drive tray or DVD tray. To access it, again you have to create one folder, or if there is any free folder also, you can use the same, and you have to mount it with the CD DVD. Then you will open this folder and you will see all the data of this CD DVD. Similarly, you will put data here, the data will be stored here. You will see whatever data, you open the folder, you will see all the data of this partition. Similarly, if you have anything like a pen drive type of thing, suppose you want to access this pen drive. So what you need to do, again, you have to create your one folder, or if there is a already one free folder, you have to map this with this folder. You open this folder, keep the data, it will be stored in pen drive. You open whatever data you see, that will be the data of pen drive. So that is called mounting. So what we understood here is everything has to be under the root partition. You see, this pen drive is also accessible, but under the root partition, via the root partition. You cannot access it directly. Okay. So that is the line here. Files and directories are organized into single rooted inverted tree structure. And the file system begins with the root directory represented by forward slash. Names are case sensitive and paths are delimited, means separated by forward slash. So I hope till here these all things are clear. If you have any questions, ask me. Do you have any questions?
No, Tanveer, it's
No,
clear.
sir, it's clear, sir.
Clear, na? So always keep in mind, we cannot access any partition, CD, DVD, pen drive, nothing in the Linux directly. Everything has to be accessed via the root partition, which is referred as a forward slash. So let us see the same as a graphical. So let it open. Meanwhile, we'll move to the another slide. Then I'll show you how the files are stored. Now we have some important folder. As you know, in Windows, if you go here in the C drive, we have now program files, Windows, user, TMP folders. Similar to this, here also we have some important files and folders. So same thing I have summarized in my notepad. One thing is home directory. So what is the home directory? So in command line we say directories, graphical the same thing is referred as a folder. So home directories store personal files folder configuration data of the user. So as we have seen yesterday, there are two type of user, root user and the normal user. So for the root user, we have a dedicated for home folder called root that is directly on the root partition. Now for the normal users, there is a folder on the root partition called home. Inside that, there will be folder with the username, and then inside that there will be desktop, home, document, and so on. So this is home folder. So by default, when any user logs in command line, then the user will be in their home folder. So let us see the same. So if you use pwd, you see the user is root and he is inside his root folder. If I log in with Tanveer, pwd, he is inside his home folder. Okay. So whenever you want to check the path where my files and folders are stored currently, if you are not going to define where to store, then by default where it is going, you can check with the command pwd, present working directory. Now graphically, if we see the same, in the activities, you see we have the Firefox. So in Linux, the default web browser we have, that is Firefox. In Windows, nowadays we have Edge. Earlier it was Internet Explorer. In Mac, we have Safari. So you see, we don't have internet, so that's why it's not showing here. Now the next, after this, you see drawer. This is the files. File is similar to my computer, this PC, whatever you say. So by default, it will take you to the home. This is your home folder, document, music, download, picture, and trash is the recycle bin. Okay. This one, other location. When you click on other location, you will see the computer. Okay, and referred with forward slash. When you double click on it, you will see directly the folders like bin, boot, home, media, and so on. But you will not see like C drive, D drive, and so home folder. So let us see the home folder here. So one is for the root. So you see for the root, it is showing a picture of home also on the folder. So this is the root user home folder. Now coming back to the partition here, when you go to the home, inside the home, you can see Rohan and Tanveer, two user. When you go to the Tanveer, again, you see their files and folders. Okay. Okay. Now moving to the next, that is user executables. As I told you that yesterday, in Linux, everything is a file. So command what we execute, that is also stored as a file. Okay. So there are two type of commands. One which normal user can execute, another which can be executed by system or the root user. So the normal user commands are stored in bin, means binaries. So directly one folder on the root partition, USR inside that the folder bin or USR local bin. So let us see the same. Here when we go to the bin, you see inside the bin we will see the commands. You see alias command. We have seen a cat, date, so everything will be here. Calendar command, cd command, cat command. Okay. Similarly, we'll have clear command. You see, if you open it directly, you cannot open because these all are command as a file. So similarly here we have system executable, means which can be executed by the system, command as a file. Mount point, just now we have discussed about the mounting. So there are some folders created by default like MNT, media, these are empty folders. So if we want, we can mount or map our external drive, pen drive, or any partitions, any share folder on this folders. Configuration files. So all the configuration files are stored in etc folder as a text file, because yesterday I told configurations are stored as a text file. So when you go inside the etc, you will see there is a lot of configuration files. So just for example, we'll check the host name, pqrsh. Where is that host name? This one. So when you open it, okay. So this is the host name. I want to change it, server 1, and I'm going to save it. Now what should happen if I have done it? So file etc hostname is change, reload it. So now you see it's changed also. And I want to check the host name. So go on the command prompt. So here you see still it is showing localhost. Then we have to restart one service. Service network manager restart. Okay. So now once we have done, if we use the command host name, we can see it is showing server 1, or exit. Again go on the prompt. When you open the terminal, you will see the name is changed to server 1. Means what I wanted to show is If you change the configuration in the normal text file, it also change the configuration because all the configurations are stored as a text file in the etc. All the temporary files are in the TMP. Kernel and boot loaders, or you can say the bootable files, are stored in /boot. So that is a separate partition, but it is mapped with the folder boot here. So here, when you go inside it, the location, computer, boot. Here you see, these all are the bootable files, and these are the kernel images, VM lineage. Now the next, server data means the database of server is stored in var and srv folder. System related information is stored in proc and sys. Proc means process and sys means system. Shared libraries. There are some common codes used by the applications. So that is available here in the library. Lib means library. Lib, USR locally. So these are the common folders and its use in Linux. So any question if you have?
No,
So
sir.
do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, fine then. Now moving to the files and directory. So names of the file and directory can be up to 255 character in length. All characters are valid except the forward slash because it is used to separate. Okay. And names are case sensitive, means how you write the file names accordingly you have to open capital, small, or the mix, whatever you give. That we have seen also. Nautilus, using Nautilus. Nautilus means graphical. So graphically working in Linux is similar how you work in Windows. Right click, new file, folder, copy, paste, everything is same. Okay. Moving and copying in Nautilus. So drag and drop, control, always copy like this. So same thing, right click, rename, cut, copy, paste will be same. File system management from the command line. So that we are going to see. For this, I have already created one notepad where I have collected all the common commands which is required to create and manage files and folders. Now the next, absolute and relative path. What exactly it is? So to understand the same, suppose first this is my root partition. On the root partition, I have created one folder. Inside that we have two folders. Okay. So like this, just think it's a tree like hierarchical structure. Suppose this is the folder Asia. Inside the folder Asia, I have India, Japan, Delhi, Puri, Tokyo, NASA. Okay. So Now, if my current working folder, suppose I am inside the Asia folder. So this is my present working folder, or in short, we can say PWD. I am in Asia folder. And this Delhi is the source file, suppose, and this Japan is the destination folder. So now for this, if I have to write the path, tell me, how can I write? So to copy, we have command CP. Tell me how I should write the path. So there will be two options, absolute and relative. Absolute means complete path from the root partition till the source, and then from the root partition till the destination. That is absolute path. So how it will be written? Slash Asia slash India slash Delhi. I want to copy inside slash Asia slash Japan. So this is called our absolute path. Similarly, if I want to write the same, I have another option. Copy India slash Delhi in Japan. So what does it mean? So this is called relative path. So absolute path always starts from the root partition, referring all the folders in between the path. That is absolute path. So for absolute path, you don't need to see where you are currently, because you are defining from the top point. But when you are defining the relative path, then the path starts from present working directory. So if your source and destination or any of that is inside the current working directory, then only you can define the relative path. Else you have to define absolute path. An absolute path can be defined in any of the circumstances. So is this clear, or do you have any question?
Sir,
Relative path we can
Delhi,
mention.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, relative path we can mention only when we are in Asia folder, right? PWD Asia
When
folder.
our source or destination, any of that or both of that, is inside the present working directory, or you can say in short, if our target for which we are defining
Okay.
either for source or destination is inside our current working folder or present working folder, then only we can define relative path.
If we are in under Delhi folder,
Uh,
so that time relative path won't work, right?
if you are inside it and you
Yeah,
want to copy the same folder, then you have
yeah,
to use absolute path.
yeah. So PWD will be Delhi folder. So that time under Delhi, any file we want to copy into Japan folder. So relative path won't work, right?
No, relative will work only to define the source, and to define the destination, we have to define absolute path.
Okay. Suppose for file, if we are copying from Delhi to Japan, right? So we are in Delhi, under Delhi means
Just,
PWD.
just
When you will type, it will show Delhi folder. Okay.
uh, so
Asia
your
slash
question
India
is,
slash
inside
Delhi.
the Delhi, if you
Yeah.
are having any folder,
Yeah.
like suppose lal,
My present working folder will be Delhi.
if this is the PWD in your case, and you want to copy this lal inside the
Yeah.
Japan, correct?
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
In that case, you have to write like this: CP lal
Yeah.
slash Asia slash Japan.
Yeah,
Means
exactly.
for the
So
source, we can write relative path, but for the destination, which is out of the current working folder, we have to use absolute path.
absolute path. Yeah, that's my question. Okay.
So absolute path always start with forward slash, but relative path never starts with forward slash.
Hmm.
Yeah. Any other questions? So when we're referring to files on the command line, we have absolute path, which begins with the forward slash, complete roadmap to the file location, and can be used anytime whenever you want to specify a file name. Relative path do not begins with slash, specify location relative to your current working folder only, and it can be a shorter way to specify a file name. After this, these are the commands which I have already included in the notepad. So we are not going to see this in these slides. Okay, so end of lecture 4.
One more way we can use is dot dot slash also we can use, right?
That is
Just
that is what
going back one.
dot slash means. Dot refers to the current working folder.
Yeah,
Okay. Dot and then slash. If it is inside the current working folder, you can use.
yeah,
Okay. Single dot is enough here. Double dot is not required. Okay.
yeah.
Like for the same
There are
large.
multiple more than one folder we are going back. Means
Mhm.
double dot we are giving, right?
Mhm. Okay. So now moving to the next, that is the commands to create file, folder, read, extra, copy, paste, and dissolve. Okay. So here we have the option view, adjust to window size. So I will adjust like this. To create file and folder, it is not mandatory to log in with the root. We can log in with the normal user also. First, to create a file, we have the option. Yesterday we have seen the graphical editor, Nano, or if I want to create with the command, we have cat command. Cat greater than, and then you give the file name. Dawn. And then once you have typed, if you want to write again, hit enter, and then you press Control D. Control D means save and exit. If you use the command cat space the file name, yesterday we have created joy. I think J was capital. No, oh sorry, I have created in Tanveer. Cat slash home slash Tanveer slash joy. You see. So I have defined the path of the file and then I'm able to access which is available somewhere else. So here you can see cat command is used to read the content of any text file or the one which you have created just now. That also we can see here. Now, if I want to add lines to the file, then we have to use double greater than. If you use single greater than, it will overwrite the content. Now to clear the screen clear, you see whatever we have added, that is added in the last line. Okay. I want to list all files and folder. We have command ls. Okay. If I want to see extra information, ls space minus l. So here you can see it is showing first the permission field that we will discuss later. Then it shows 1, 2, 1, 2 like this. So 1 is for the file, 2 is for the folder. If there is a folder inside the folder, then the count will be there. 2 means only folder. If there is a file inside this also, it will be 2. But when there is a one more folder inside the folder, then it will become 3. If we have 2 folder inside it, then it will become 4 and 1 for the file. This first one is the name of the owner. Second one is the name of the group owner. So as I told you yesterday, when we create a user in Linux, one private group is created by default. So for your files and folder, you will be the owner and your private group will be the group owner. This is the size, month, date, and the time. So here in this, if you see, blue color represent folder and white color files. Same thing can be seen with the command ll, long list. Okay. Now I want to see some extra information about a specific file. So I will write ls space minus l space the file name Dawn. I want to see for more than one file. Then the next is, I think, initial setup. Like this, we can see for multiple
Sir,
files.
is that 126 is the size of the file, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to see extra information of multiple files, then a space file name, and so on, you can give multiple file names. For the folder ls space minus ld, I want to see for desktop, or I want to see for multiple, like document. You see, documents. Now choose. Similarly, if you want to remove any file or delete any file, we have command rm space file name. You see, it is asking question. So if you don't want it to ask the question, you have to give yes, then only it will delete. Then you will use minus f. It is deleted. You see. I want to copy one file joy which is kept in Tanveer home folder. So I will use copy /home /Tanveer /joy. Where to copy? Inside my home folder. Copy it, you see. Joy file is here. I want to rename it mv space joy space fun. You see. So mb command is used to rename. Same if you want to move it from like you see, currently it is in the root folder. I want to move it in downloads. mb space, I want to move fun inside downloads folder. Now you see fun is not there, but when you go inside the downloads, put ls, you see fun is there. So mb is used to rename also, and for move also, same command. Same we can do with the folder also. Now to create a folder, we have command mkdir India. You see, India folder is created. if you want to create multiple folder, mkdir, Japan, China, Russia, you see, all is created. China, Japan, Russia. Now, if you want to delete any folder, okay, then what you are going to do? rmdir, Japan, then Russia. You can delete multiple also, like this, you see. Similarly, you can delete multiple files just by giving a space. China, India. Okay. So this is RMDIR used to delete empty folders in which you don't have any file and folder. If you want to delete any file and folder with the content, we use rm minus r for recursion, f for force, and then folder name. So let us create a scenario, mkdir, what we have drawn on paint, slash Asia, cd/Asia. Cd command is used to go inside the folder, change directory. Now if you see, I am inside the Asia folder. mkdir, India and Japan, cd India. I want to create inside this mkdir Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai. Now I want to go one step back, cd space dot dot. Now again I came back to Asia. cd space Japan, cat space greater than Tokyo. I'm creating Tokyo as a file. It is a capital city. Now I want to return to my home folder, cd enter. You see, I want to go back to the previous working folder, cd hyphen. You see, again I am inside the Japan folder. So for the same, if you see, I have mentioned here to return home folder, cd or cd hyphen. To return one step back, cd dot dot. To return in previous working folder, cd hyphen. Okay. Now let us return to the home folder, clear it. Now I want to list all the files and folder which is inside this Asia folder. So we have two commands. One, ls space minus r slash Asia. So it is showing inside the Asia we have two folder, India and Japan. Again in the India we have this three folder, Chennai nothing, Mumbai, Delhi. We don't have any files and folder. Japan we have Tokyo file. This is the output of ls space minus r. But same I want to use as a tree. But tree command does not work in the latest 9 version. Slash Asia. You see, its output is the same, but in this way, tree like structure. Now I want to copy Delhi folder in Japan. cp space minus r, f for force, slash Asia, slash India, slash Delhi, inside slash Asia, slash Japan. You see, now when you use the tree, you can see Delhi is copied. Now I want to move Chennai to Japan. MB is the command. Sorry. Chennai in Japan. See, now Chennai is moved from there. If you want to rename anything like Mumbai to Bombay, MB command will use Mumbai slash Asia /India/Bombay. See. Okay. Now, if you want to delete this existing all the files like rmdir/asia, it will say directory not empty. Then what is the command? rm-rf. Delete it. Nothing is there. So rm-rf can be used for empty folder deletion also. Now the next is in Linux, if you want to create any hidden files and folder, just you have to put dot before the name. Like, do we have any file? Inside the download we have no downloads. ls. We have file fun, mb space fun space dot fun. Now you put ls. Does it shows anything? No. To see hidden files and folder, ls space -a. You see, cat space dot fun. You are able to access. Again, to unhide, same command. First source name will be dot fun and then fun. Now you see ls, we are able to access. Okay. So these are the things which we had to learn in creating files and folder. So now it is up to you. You create a directory like this and practice. So all the commands I have shared here in the notepad. Okay. So do you have any questions?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
It's clear,
fine.
sir.
It's clear. It's clear. Sir.
Okay, then whatever I have covered today, practice it, and next class we'll see creating run level, creating and managing files and folder through command line and file system in Linux. So this much we have covered for today. Next class we will cover creating and managing link files. Then we have one inode. Then after this, once we are done with that, then we'll go VI editor. VI editor. So this much we are going to cover tomorrow. Fine then. See you all tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.